So if his standards were consistent, I mogged him because I did like
That's
three times. I did 3 times as well against him as he did against Paul.
that's a
So
stark disparity.
yeah, so
I
he
wonder
has to
what
have.
could be involved.
So he has to have inconsistent standards to protect his own ego. So so that means standards don't matter. If
Now,
the
who we
rules
talking
don't
about?
matter.
Jack Talco?
No,
Oh.
no. Money His Strolls, King Stephen. You remember
I don't
him?
know why people fool with him at all. Like that is complete. That's like letting a vampire cross your threshold. That is completely voluntary, whether to have that
Yes.
person in your life or not. I have no clue why somebody would
Oh,
voluntarily choose that in their life.
So
well,
wait,
it's because he's so gullible and foolish.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's a impenetrable
Yeah,
psychology to me of
yeah,
why.
yeah. You could just
You
keep
said
him
last
out,
night.
but he's gullible and foolish because if his standards go completely backwards every time he loses, then he has no standards at all. It's just he just defines himself as the standard. And the question is, why should I accept your standard? And there's no good reason.
Other than
So,
it's his panel, like
well,
the
he complains about being backstage by other people's panels, but when I go up, he backstage me because if he goes by what he says, he's scared of me. But if he also go by what he says, I'm just stupid. So if he gets backstage by someone else, he's stupid. But no, it has to be that they're scared. So must mean he's talking off his ass the whole time because he's
did
contradicting
you
himself.
read Lewis
I
Carroll
think
growing
Steven.
up, or watch the like the Alice in Wonderland movies? Do you remember the Mad Hatter Tea Party
Yes.
where they're all okay? That's just go watch that scene again or read that scene.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like you're looking for logic in something it's not there. These are not
Well,
rational
trolls.
people. It's either
Yeah.
content or their thinking is very
no,
surreal, like Lewis Carroll type thinking.
they're rational, just not consistent because they want to just get points for themselves. They're rational but not consistent because they just want to win.
how
But
is a
okay,
troll? How is a troll rational? Because what they're doing isn't rational.
they,
Trolling isn't rational.
they're trying to get
The
self-esteem
trolls are.
boosts.
I think the trolls are very tactical. They're trying to get specific reactions,
Yes,
or they're there for specific agendas. It's the victims of the trolls that can't draw a boundary. Like they
yeah,
allow the troll. It's like Lucy in the football or Coyote in the Roadrunner. Every
Yeah.
time, it's the same little trick every time. Or Captain Kangaroo and the ping pong balls that the moose would always talk him into calling down on his head. It's
That's
that
Jackson
little trope.
yes. So I'll explain it because I'm clearly the alpha troll, but unlike them, I'm in control, so I could just turn it off.
Troll.
Yes, I can just turn it off. They're stuck in it because they haven't leveled up hard enough. So, because I mean, I had the debate with Gerald Bust 2 weeks ago. Not a single personal attack in 2 hours.
So you're a con troll.
Yes, I'm in control.
Controller.
Yes.
I think Tommy and Steven are both fake trolls.
Oh no!
I think they're all
dude.
Spurgs. So
We're all trolls.
I,
Oh no!
I'm very liberal in my interpretation of Spurg
Yes.
behavior.
Yes,
If
but
I
they're
didn't-
not true. They're not true artists like we are. We have actual control.
Tommy definitely is,
Uh,
and I'm pretty sure
yeah.
the other one
If I
But-
didn't
but
put,
could
they're
be
not-
slotted into some category.
Well, they're autistic, but they don't have control over their autism. Like you and me, Jeff, we have control, so we can just turn
We
it
do.
on and off.
We do.
They,
I don't.
Purgatory.
if y'all had the impression I have control over it, I'm sorry.
yeah.
I do not.
Here's the thing. You don't run around the internet looking for self-esteem juice like they do.
I don't need my
that's
self-esteem from these panel
Exactly.
goblins at
Exactly. I don't either. So that's why I don't obsess over and have streams reminiscing about things that happened 10 years ago.
No, that's dysfunction. If your life revolves around panel trolls, then get you
Wait.
a better therapist, or get you
sh-
a therapist,
I'm
or a
sorry.
pet.
I'm sorry. Therapy's a scam. You're probably better off on these scam.
Hey, I
panels.
got I'm gonna send you an article today that a friend of mine.
okay,
Rogue.
quick question, Hank. Liliana brings up a good point. A fake troll, is that such a thing?
Definitely.
And now she's calling it a goblin. Are goblins real?
That's what I called it, but
I don't know what she
It's
means.
like Tommy and Steven, where you can spurg out on people, but then you have a panel of your own and you can't let anyone talk.
Yeah, I call that mod spooking.
I call that tism.
What?
It's all
I'm-
tism.
I'm mod spook. Yes.
Yes. You got a sign? I hear something
Oh,
flapping in the wind.
yes.
I hear
I
something
did
flapping in
signs.
the wind over there,
So,
dude.
so I have the new normal sign, and I have the Mandela one, which is the old normal.
Nice.
So new normal, Mandela. The difference is I have the spy first, then the ghost.
Yep. So Tommy has no claim.
Wait, did the egg or the chicken come first, dude?
Egg always comes first, but
The
egg always comes
comes
first.
first. Thanks, Hank. You solved the mystery of the universe. Thank you, bro. Right now.
Right here on Outliers and Exile.
Yes, the
Gen
egg
X
came
Jeff,
first.
folks.
That makes sense. Did something pooped out an egg, and all of a sudden a chicken came out? They're like, dude, that ain't my kid.
Yep, and also dinosaurs laid eggs before chickens existed. So either way you look at it, egg comes first.
Egg comes first. All right. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Thank you, Hank.
So I'll
Do
see
we solve
myself
our
out.
Huh?
I'll see myself out. Thank you, folks.
Oh, that's it.
Did we solve our troll problem?
No, we made it worse.
Yes, you
Are
just
there
had me
troll-
eat them. You just had me eat them. It's not a big deal.
All right.
Well, how do we
Bon
solve?
appetit.
I was gonna say, how do we
Oh,
solve the
no.
troll problem with Talcott, because he keeps letting him in, and he's like, he's bringing it on himself a little bit.
Yeah, I don't understand. That would be something for him and his therapist to explore. I don't know why that I don't know why that's the experience he wants for himself every day, day after day.
If there were
To me, it's Lucy and the football. He's Charlie Brown every day.
Yeah.
if there's tenets for the internet, is don't feed the trolls would be one of them.
Yes. I knew that from back in the AOL days. You learned don't feed the trolls. That's just so. It's automatic for me not to feed trolls.
And then don't go down the dark web. Use a VPN. Tenets for the internet. Oh, that was
One
great,
thing you
Hank.
gotta
We
understand-
appreciate that, brother. I hope you're doing well, Hank. Thank you. I forgot to ask him what his urban house would be.
I know, and which panel he's going on next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Verbal Combat's up. Let's see who is fighting tonight.
No, okay. So that reminds me about Speakeasy. He came up once, and you had a guess, and he was like, "Well, Christians need to hold other Christians accountable, right?" So is that what the freaks-
Satan? He took Satan. He like banished Satan from the Battleverse. I was pissed.
Yeah, no, but yeah, you actually
Mostly
were-
it's Satan
Yeah.
for letting Easy bitch about that way.
Isn't that one
Mad
of
at Satan.
OTW's?
Satan, let me down, brother. I've been praying to you.
I know.
Praying to you, and this Christian comes in and kicks your ass. Hey, one for Christianity, guys.
And no, it gets worse. A few days before, Satan was saving souls and bringing them to Jesus. He had saved 3 or 4 souls, and he was like, "But Easy, you don't understand. I've saved souls this week. It's not like I do like the Lord."
That's what he's saying.
Do we know who that person is? Is it OTW or is it something else?
Those of them are good friends. Yeah.
But speaking of
Satan.
OTW, what's the update on the panel game? Anybody know? The Panoverse card game.
I wonder where.
No. I thought he had an October target.
What do you think Tommy's superpower would be?
Chaos.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a creative way to phrase it, but that would be the core of the power. I was about to say it. Yeah, he's
Do
like
you
a
think-
chaos bomb.
How do you think the powers would would work? Would it be like an attack point system?
I
Like,
think Tommy's would override. He would like neutralize all conversation within a certain foot radius, and no matter what. And the only thing that could overpower it is like if you have the panel daddy alone, the panel host has to have like the panel daddy hammer or something sword, and that's the only thing that could override.
you give him the mic.
Tommy's is going to be very powerful.
You know how like Monopoly has little LED thingies, those little LED icons. You can get like a
Yeah.
mic. You can give him a mic, and I'm like, here, you have the mic. So that would be like the panel daddy has the mic, or no, maybe it'd be something different.
Yeah, something like
it'd be
that.
like chaos that you can't get rid of until you actually do a reboot.
He could,
Restream.
yeah, like everybody clear the panel, and then they have to play their way back, like have the right cards to get back into the panel.
It clears the deck. It clears the.
No. Tommy's what
Or
happens
you
right
could
before
be-
the blackout.
The what?
Tommy's what happens, the chaos that happens right before the total darkness, the blackout, the power outage.
We still need Freak's power. It would have to have something to do with Jesus.
I have to think about it.
The power of truth, like accusation of truth. You could accuse somebody of being false, and then they have to like reveal something in their hand or take a consequence or something.
Would that be Jack Talcott's power? Feed the trolls.
Right, the trolls get straight. If Jackson play, the trolls get like
Booster.
plus 10
Yeah,
each
your trolls
round.
get- yeah, your trolls-
The longer he's in play, the more they empower, unless there's something that can neutralize it.
That's a Tommy
Jack's
comes in
ready.
with
That's
chaos.
another one that's going to be super powerful. Like Tommy and Jax, I think are going to have to be very powerful.
Yes.
Hey,
yes.
Dom.
Jack's waiting for a apology troll. But it never happened.
The elusive apology troll.
Oh man.
But I
Hey,
think
okay.
OTW has a target of October for the deck to come out.
Oh, how cool! That's a great update.
I
dude.
can't wait to see how the game, because the games are going to be played live on the panel, so I can't wait to see how they play out.
Hank says his superpower is gonna be sending the deck that you play back to the graveyard. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
So he doesn't want cards. He wants live troll panels.
And Hank is the troll zapper.
I
He
think
can
it'd be
he
fun
can target individual trolls.
if there was like a $100 bank that you could buy back characters like in the panelverse that you could buy people, or like, here, I want to buy back Tommy, so here's $5 for my bank, and then you only have like $100 in your YouTube account to play, and you're like, all right, so here's my super chat fund or something like that.
I
So,
like that.
yeah, so like this is fun, dude.
Like people can individually contribute to either kick a person or bring someone back, and then once it reaches that threshold, then that's what it actually happens. So somebody can come and throw in $5 a day, and other people can throw in a couple of bucks, and then over
Yeah.
time it'll reach where Mike Cerrone gets one kickoff that they can invoke because they've built up the amount as a group, or they could call somebody onto the panel once if they activate it. I like
It's
that.
like a wild card. It's like a
Yeah.
wild card. Yeah.
I'm thinking like you have a prepaid Tommy card, and like if me and Philip were getting, off on like European history or whatever, and it was, getting to the point where, one person was right or wrong, I could pull out my Tommy card, slap it on the deck, and then it would just, completely go into chaos, and there would be no winner.
The Tommy card would be like the 1 in a million card. You get the rarest card.
Yeah,
It'd be
it's
like holographic.
along with the
like-
apology troll.
But Hank's power would be exposing the hypocrite trolls.
You can't force someone to panel up. Yeah.
Don't challenge me, Flo, because I'll find a way to do it. Especially for money. Come on, you of all people. Shit, I
Yeah.
can't believe. When did
Guess
you get so?
OTW's card game. So we're thinking about ideas for the card game.
And Moose had one he was working on too. That we had some ideas for. So
So I
that's
feel
slightly different. Uh-oh.
like OTW is now moved to his own like verse. You know, his own little.
Did you lock up? Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
did.
OTW's creative person.
Yeah, I've noticed that he's got that music bug. He loves that music.
Okay, let's see. You need to pay to troll the
Music.
panel members. You mean like from the chat, or somebody would come up? If you're on panel, that's consent to pay to. So how would this work? Like, would it be specific? Like you would target Philip specifically with the troll, or you could just any troll could come up and troll the whole panel? That would be a way to manage the drama. Like people could. Someone comes up to troll. Oh my God, there's so many candidates.
So
They could have like you could eventually have like your favorite trolls. They would have different followings, and some trolls would be more sought out than others. And you could get a really high tier troll to come in if you really have a troublesome panel.
And Hank's really playing poker right
Of
now.
course, Flo's probably sitting there writing all this down.
He's got sunglasses now, guys. Hank's really dedicated now. He's hiding his his expressions. He's got his hats. So watch out for
I
Hank,
like
guys.
these ideas. I really do. I mean, feel free to get them started.
Going back to world history, if we can for a second, do you think that within the narrative nowadays, there's a anti-white narrative within the white, world history narrative that is detrimental to the country?
I don't know, dude. I don't know what they're teaching
I
history these
think
days.
in some places, yes.
It's a good question. I
And
just
if
don't
it
know
would have
history.
been, if it would have been another group of people that basically were able to bring the world together in a sense, I guess you could say, would it be the same type of outlook of those people?
Wait, say
In
that
other words,
again.
let's just say the Africans were able to connect the world, by colonialism, and they were the ones who did it and everything else. Would it still be an anti-white kind of a narrative, or would it be anti-black at that point because they were the ones who did?
It'd be anti-black because it's anti-dominant culture, and they're saying that because the dominant culture is white, that's the origin of the oppression. But I think if it were black, if it were white people being oppressed by black people, it wouldn't change the play, like the
So
play.
what matters is the dominant culture
Yeah,
that you're in.
because sometimes they call it white, sometimes they call it patriarchy, sometimes they call it capitalism, sometimes they call it imperialism or colonialism. You might hear theocracy in some countries are as a danger here in this country. So it depends on who they put how they describe the dominant group as to what axis of oppression they're setting up, and each one's going to do it differently. The trans use heteronormativity or cis normativity, and in my day there was a faction of gays that would use heteronormativity. So it changes depending on what your agenda is, like what your identity politics are and what your agenda is. I wish they did that.
I think the dominant culture theory makes sense to me.
But that's just that's hierarchy, like status hierarchy, and in-group out-group dynamics. So none of that's new. This has all been part of the human species for like ever, and all of a sudden it's seen as a moral issue. Yes, this is a good thing. I have a story about this too. I'm not going to tell it today because it gets kind of detailed. But I was in this situation when Mike was at the end there.
Wait, you weren't the guy that sued that baker for not making a cake, right?
No, I wasn't. But his mom did try to stop me from seeing him in the hospital. Like, and I showed up one day and they had security guards stationed at the door to
Wow.
somehow, and they said his mom called. And I'm like, how does she have he's the patient. How does she have the power to call and have security guards stationed? And so I had to fight and get that overcome.
Was she
And I'll
weak?
tell you what did it actually was I was listed as his emergency contact on his chart, on his records. We had done that like weeks earlier. One of the nurses noticed that I was up at there a lot, and she offered to put us as emergency contact. And so because I was the name listed, I was the one that they had to legally defer to if they couldn't access him, like if he was asleep or something, not his
Yeah.
mom. And so because of that, I got to override her wishes.
Yeah.
But she should not have had the power to have security guards stationed in the first place. Like that's not a power that people that are not the patient just have. So it was suspicious that she somehow talked them into or persuaded that I was a danger
Was
or
she
a
coming
threat,
from the
and
mom
they
angle, or was she
believed her
coming
and
from?
they wouldn't put security guards, but they really were not supposed to do that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds messed up, dude. I'm sorry you went through that. For
Was
someone
she
you
coming
cared
from the
for.
mom angle, or was she like a weird Christian angle?
It was the mom angle. We had gotten into it earlier that day. I ended up having to call the police on him. Everything it got ugly,
Oh, yeah.
and we were all living in the same house at the time.
Ooh.
Like
Ooh.
she had come in to stay and be there. So she had been there for weeks, and it was building up.
Yeah, Taco Tuesday night would be awkward.
Yeah.
Uh, what'd you eat for
So,
dinner?
so the point is, if any of you are in this situation, make sure you are on that emergency like that the patient authorizes you as the emergency contact, because that's going to give you, if it comes down to situations like this, that's going to give you a lot of leverage and authority. Oh wow! Can you marry dogs? Because Uncle Fatty can marry dogs.
Lilliana's a minister.
What?
Uncle
I wonder,
Fatty.
I wonder if it's limited to dogs, but if he also can marry like cats.
Probably. I don't. I'm not sure where the limits are now. He married on Mel Pandora's. He married.
You
There were
know,
two people's streamers' dogs.
I've had more experience with dogs and understanding that maybe dogs could couple up. Do cats couple up? I've always seen cats independent, bro.
Monogamous.
Well, I've only seen a cat by itself.
Well,
Oh,
the cats my roommate had, they were brother and sister, so they kind of like cuddled together here and there throughout the house, and they had their little like beds they would lay in together. But that could be because they were genetically related too. I don't know. I've seen
Right.
cats cuddle, and I've seen cats and dogs cuddle together, like pets cuddle.
See, the limited history makes you have your opinion. I was like, I've only seen dogs.
Yeah, I thought they
in
were
my
just food.
group
They probably just teach you that on the food pyramid.
because I'm Filipino.
Yeah, all right, you caught me. It was an attempt at a racist joke.
It was, bro. I was like, hold on, you said
In
dogs are food?
2024, I was seeing if I could still. Get away
Bro. Do you know what I heard? See, I don't know if you can handle working for the corporate, Jeff. You'd probably say that in the office.
with it. Yeah.
You can't
Me
say
and-
that in the office. But I heard this.
Yeah,
I
I
heard the
sure
creepiest-
would.
So apparently, my mom was asked about cat once because she's real Filipino. Like she came in from the streets, Filipino, and she said cat's no good. And I was really surprised to hear that answer. And I was like, whoa, my mom's real Filipino. Ugh.
Like it doesn't taste good, or
I guess it doesn't smell
It's-
good when you cook it, and it doesn't taste good. It's just no good.
ooh, Liliana, you have to account for yourself. The Inquisitor is here. Don't you claim to be a fake reverend now? We still got to watch The Apostle too. Oh, and Treme. And Bex, if you're out there, I could do more TV too if you want.
We appreciate you sharing your going through your watch list. You got your
It's
movies and you got your shows.
I mean, for me, it's more fun when I watch it with other people. It adds to that. You know how when you're sitting in a movie, like it's that energy of a crowd feeds the experience. I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm not kidding. I had a coworker at a job one time, and we did not get along. We hated each other. We could not be in the room together before drama would pop off on one side or the other. And the job had like a movie night, like this team building exercise where we all showed up at the workplace and watched a movie together. And she sat next to me. And during the movie, we were laughing at all the same parts together. And we were noticing the same things and reacting to the same thing. And during the course of this 2 hour movie, I felt so close to this girl. I'm like, wow, I'm really enjoying hanging out with this girl. We're watching the movie together. We're enjoying it together, and it's the same girl that I couldn't stand that they had to keep separated. But there's something about the experience, the shared experience, aesthetic experience of experiencing a movie or a drama or some kind of piece of art together that it connects people. And if I can watch a movie with another person, it adds something to it because I can watch it by myself just fine. But just having that other person there to share that experience, it's kind of like sharing food. Like when you share a meal together, it just creates that bonding experience.
So this is three things now. This is a perfect time to promote your Discord. If you guys are looking for like an after show,
We do have a Discord. What you see on the stream is only a part of the community. There's a 24-hour Discord happening outside, in between streams. So if you want the Discord, just contact me at GenXJeff on Discord, and I will get you a link. We watch movies. We have conversations. Play games sometimes.
dang it.
There's a drama channel where you
Oh.
could talk about all the drama going on. If you keep it in the drama channel.
I find it awesome that you said that there's art or mediums of that people can connect with. Have you ever understood the attraction of the Mona Lisa? Like, do you understand there's people who do they travel tens of thousands of miles just to look at a fake painting, a replica, because they don't want to show the original because it's too fragile. Can you imagine that? And they connect to it, bro. They all stand there and they all look at it and for 5 to 10 minutes, maybe longer for some people. But you know what I mean? That's my attention span. Maybe 2 minutes.
I'm not visual, although art does affect me. Like I have to walk. When I'm in an art museum, I get so overpowered. It's like more than being in a church. Like that whatever that intangible feeling is. I get overwhelmed after a while, and I have to leave to restore myself to my baseline because it's so overpowering being around all of that amazing, powerful art. And I'm not visual, but I know that people that can look at a painting for hours and there's more to see each time they look at it and they get immersed. It's an aesthetic experience. I do that with music and with books. I can get lost in a book or a song or an album or something over and over and over for hours and hours, and I always find something new in it. So the aesthetic experience itself is potentially infinite. And each person's going to have their own individual mediums that they respond to.
So that's an interesting thing you said there, and kind of pops up in my head. Do you think that's Do you think? I don't know, because so many people do it. Is listen to music like a million times to the point where they can memorize like every note, beat, and everything. Is that autistic?
I don't know. It might be. Like I used to listen to. I'd buy the cassette tape. Like I didn't. If I heard a song on the radio, I'd want the whole album because I'd have to hear every song that came out with that one song. And I would listen to albums over and over and over and over and over until I had them completely memorized. Like there was a point, and sometimes it would take years, where you exhausted the album and you didn't need to hear it anymore because it was so much a part of your brain, and listening to it again didn't add anything to the experience. So I've worn out albums in that way. from
That's
just listening
crazy.
to him.
That's
But
awesome.
then, like years later, I could go back and there's still a little bit of a charge left in them where I could still get some pleasure out of it. And I've done
Yeah.
that with movies, books. So any work of art, I think, is like it stores up this potentially infinite amount of experience or information, and then you take whatever you able to get out of it, and that's how I could tell a really good movie or a really good book. Because when I watched it 10 times, I see something new in it on the 10th time that I didn't see the other 9 times. And so I can keep watching it throughout my life and keep seeing new things because it's that deep. But then other movies, you watch it 2 or 3 times and there's nothing else to see. And it doesn't have the same entertainment value after a few times. And those are the movies that are less quality or less classic.
I want to. DeFreak, are you still here? I wanted to ask
Yeah,
him to
absolutely.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, is there something that does that for you? Is there like a like is there art or is there a music or is there anything that does that for you where you can't wait to share it with people. You can't wait to find the details in it because you find something more in that. Like for example, to me, it's video games. I spent hours into video games. To people who are like, dude, you're just doing the same thing over and over again. I was like, no, actually, there's a detail to this that you don't see.
Is it the Bible? Which is one of the greatest works of art I think
Yeah, it
mankind
might
has
be
ever created.
scripture. It might be just panel hopping, trying to basically, you know, get people to think about God a little bit and whatnot, because that's how I build up treasure in heaven. And so that's my motivation.
So you're I'm trying to build up super chats. So like through your paneling, you're building up like spiritual currency for the afterlife by as part of just hanging out in the panelverse. That's pretty cool, actually.
I
I wish
mean,
Satan had something like that.
I would say probably yes, because when you hang out with the Christian channels, all they do is argue about minutia and like petty stuff. And so you're not winning souls there, but
They have whole channels where Christians fight with each other.
oh, definitely, like big time.
That's my new genre. That's like almost as good as Galavision.
They have like organized debate channels and everything for that. Calvinist versus Lutheran, and they get off on each other all the time. But I like to say that fellowship is greater than doctrine. So I really am kind of burnt out on all that stuff.
I like that. That's community. Like,
Yeah,
I like that too.
because like you have the ortho bros telling they are kind of almost like Catholic in a way, but they're not, and so they always find a way to separate themselves and say that ours is the best. Our God is the God, and it's just so silly.
Yeah, I know they all think their God is the God and that their daddy can beat up everybody else's daddy.
But as far as connecting with other people in music and movies and stuff, yeah, that definitely happens. That's the great thing about humans and creativity and art.
And religion, I would say. And society and culture. It's the campfire story. Like we bond around the campfire telling stories. Like the early humans, and I think we still do that.
Yeah,
Maybe not telling the stories anymore. We do that too, but like experiencing stories together that are being told to us.
I don't know if you saw the documentary. It was a long time ago, probably about 15 years ago. But they wanted to know what makes a male the most sexually prowess male in a particular group. And basically at the end of the day, like the rock star was like the highest graded male sexual prowess male that had access to the most females because of like just like the way cultures are. So it was like the entertainer rock star dude that was like the always the top of the
That's
hierarchy.
status. It's the highest
Yeah,
status male.
that's the high status.
What do you think the modern version is? The
That's probably rock
YouTube
star.
content creator.
Probably entertainment, rock star music, someone that is not politically
So not
controversial.
Destiny.
No, Destiny.
I
No,
thought he was getting all the tank.
I don't think so.
Oh,
He's getting all the taint, maybe. I don't know,
uh,
but I think his stock has dropped because, like, he's a paid shill at this point. And
what
I don't
what
think
what medium do you
what he
think? Because I don't
says.
think rock. You think maybe like Taylor Swift. I don't think like rock music necessarily is the cultural force it used to be. I'm not even sure Hollywood celebrity is the cultural force it used to be. So like who do you think the modern high status males are? What area would they come from? Sports? Is that even a thing anymore? Politics?
Um,
Basketball.
Anything
Basketball
where you
for
have a
sure.
rival, like if you have a rivalry, you kind of ex-nay those out because they don't like bring people together as much because you have, say, Philly versus San Diego, where there's kind of a competition there. Whereas if you have a hip hop artist that has like an American anthem song or something that becomes popular,
Like
all
Beyonce?
people can, yeah, all people can kind of unite behind that, and then there's your high status entertainer, access to the most female, alpha male.
So it's still the entertainers. It just may not be rock music specifically anymore.
Right, only because there's no conflict of religion, politics, or rivalry between, say, cities economically. It's a kind of a uniter figure that isn't controversial.
I think people want the conflict because me and Barnabas tried that the other day and like getting along in peace and love, and we hated it. People like that charge that comes from tension.
Um,
Or maybe not everybody. Like even Talcott, he pretends like he wants peace and love, but he has that side of him too.
Remember the first American Idol that came out where it was like Clay Owens or whatever, and it was Ruben Studdard. They were like the one,
Yeah, yeah.
but so like eventually Ruben won. But like if you were a big Clay fan, it was not hard for you to become a big Ruben fan, right? Even though it was a competition, ultimately the entertainment itself was kind of a uniter, and so you didn't hate Ruben because Clay lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think in that field, in that light, that's what a female is going to be more attracted to than conflict, actually. But
That
I could be wrong.
lovey-dovey stuff. I think they still want a lot of them are still going to want the bad boy and or the caveman that can kill the mountain lion for them. Oh, Liliana, what happened here? I thought you were already a member. What? Oh, well, wait, glad, great to have you. I'm just shocked that you weren't already a member. I thought you were. Okay, let's welcome our new outlier, Liliana, who was somehow um, showing a lot of leadership here, just as a lowly. None of you are
Uh-oh.
lowly. Oh, wow, we got more outliers thanks to Liliana. Oh, let's keep this going. Thank you, Liliana. Wow.
I like Liliana.
Yeah, she's the one that talked us into watching Treme, and she's the one that may possibly be helping me to plan a panel conference in New Orleans, so we could all get together in person.
That'd be awesome to have Jeff as a tour guide for New Orleans. I'd go.
I could probably. I mean, I haven't been there in 15 years, but it's also a like a pretty historical city that doesn't change too much. So
Like you
I
probably
could
know where to
probably pull
go.
off. Yeah.
Probably know where to go in town to like.
Yeah, or if I don't, because I don't know how much it's changed after COVID. I definitely have friends that do. Yeah, NOLA 2025, or we could call it NULA.
Like going to a
So
Mardi Gras with Jeff would probably be pretty fun.
It is. I'm not gonna lie.
so
I
you
did
said
21. Before I moved up here, I was living. I live like 3 or 4 blocks from the parade route, and I did 21 parades in like a month.
What? In a
Damn.
month?
Yeah, like every day, because there's a gradual build up. So they'll start like doing a parade here, a parade there, and then eventually there'll be like 2 or 3 parades a day, and then eventually it's just like nonstop parades as it builds up to Mardi Gras.
Because
And so every day after work, I got home, I'd look up the parades and I'd walk to the parade route, and sometimes there'd be 2 or 3 parades a night.
you seem real excited when you talk about, you said Louisiana home and stuff. What keeps
That's
you from
what
going back?
I went back last year for a visit, the first time in 15 years, and I did my show from home and I streamed from there, and I had at least 2 or 3 people tell me that they've never heard me sound happier and they've never heard me sound better than when I was doing my stream from. They could just tell the difference in my voice of being down there versus here.
To me, there's an excitement when you talk about this place. So I'm just really interested. If you had a place to go, why not be? Why isn't that atop your list?
Logistics and funding and all of that. It's not ruled off of the list, but it's just making it all happen.
It sounds like a perfect state. Like I think Utah might have DEI.
Utah I think would have the type of guys I'm looking for, and it would have the outdoors I'm looking for, but after hanging out in the Panelverse a little while, I'm realizing that it's still going to have some of the cultural stuff that I
Yes.
struggle against up here, the whiteness,
Yes.
so to speak.
Yes. Yes.
And the big deficit in Louisiana is not the people. I'm definitely around my people. I felt so normal down there. Like I could interact with the people and I didn't feel weird. I'm like, "Oh my God, these people feel so normal for me. To me, I feel normal." The challenge down there is getting the intellectual stimulation. And now with this, I don't have to worry about that.
It comes to you.
Right. So before I had to leave Louisiana and go find the people that could give that to me, and now I
'Cause-
could stay down there and still have a way to access that.
Like I'm looking at it as all pluses for you. If you're gonna move somewhere, you talk
Yeah.
about like you're happy. There's parades that you could take us to.
Yeah.
You might have to censor some stuff.
Oh, I'm not. Y'all can do y'all censoring.
yeah. So I'm saying you might have to put some get some
Oh,
duct
no.
tape and throw it on some girls real quick. And but it sounds like you're like I'd be stoked for you to
I
see
may end up back
your
there.
outside environment change because inside what you're showing us is awesome. We appreciate you sharing the panel with us and sharing what your thoughts and your opinions and everything. But it'd be also fun to see you grow on the outside too.
Yeah, I want to do more outside streams, but there's just nothing going on here to do it. I think I will do a lot more if I'm down there.
Yeah. So I'm excited about this conference. When's that happening? You said you have a game plan.
Well, we're looking at next year. We've only started planning it last night, and it's being planned in the chats very spontaneously. But we are doing a murder mystery clue game with Mask, one of those how to host a murder with the Panelverse. So we're gonna get the Panelverse together in a dark room and turn off the lights, and there'll be, we'll see how it goes. Not Laz, I can't believe I accidentally clicked that one. Oh yeah, we could do the graveyard tour, we could do the voodoo tour, and if you're really brave, we could go out into not the swamp tour on the boat. They have a swamp tour that you walk. It's a raised boardwalk through the swamp. It's like a prehistoric swamp. The trees are like stories tall, and they
Oh.
have the alligators, the live.
I'm a warrior for my
alligators.
keyboard, bro. So you don't have to worry about me. We have to worry about you. I got no problem for my keyboard. I'm the bravest guy here. We have to worry about Jeff eaten by alligators.
Yeah, it was scary because they're not. There's no barrier between them. You're on this. You're walking along this little trail on the side of this canal, and they're in the canal. They were like on the other.
I love it. I
Side.
love it when people call them swamp puppies.
No swamps
Great.
or haunted plantations. Well, why are we?
No
You could
swamps.
stay in the. You could stay in the bed and breakfast.
Do you have a room full of beads for Mardi Gras?
I have yeah, beads are not gonna be a problem to find. I have like an entire garbage bag full of them myself that I hauled up here.
Wow.
Yeah, back home. People have entire like hefty lawn and leaf bag size of Mardi Gras beads. They'll just keep them in their attics or in their closets, and they pull them out for Mardi Gras. Just tons of beads.
I would never thought that would be a business.
There is a documentary that's fascinating on the companies in Japan that make the beads, and they get paid like nickels. They spend all day and they have no idea why they're making these beads. Like, why do Americans want these little plastic? And when they show them what it's for and Mardi Gras, all the little Chinese women that are making the beads, their eyes are just popping out. They're just lighting up at seeing what their beads are used for.
Americans are
Oh,
crazy
man.
to put it in that scenario. These little making these beads, and it goes across in a boat to some girl to go to some
Yeah.
guy to throw at a girl, and or to Jeff, I guess, and
Let me see if I can find it.
the life
I think
of the
it's
Mardi
called
Gras bead. Yeah.
Mardi Gras Made in China.
You watch all the documentaries on Hulu.
Yeah, apparently they have it on YouTube here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Good
only
story,
45
Jeff.
minutes.
Good story, man. Good story.
Oh, prepare your boobs. And New Orleans is much like Vegas. It's one of those cities that what happens there, you leave it there. People discover their New Orleans self when they're in New Orleans, and it's not necessarily their everyday self.
So,
it,
like, if you
it's a
went
rite
back,
of passage.
if you went back yet tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go back to New Orleans. Where would be the first place you like? I have to try to get this food. It's been that long. It's like I have to go there. It's been that long. I haven't been there forever. It's like me going.
You have
in
to
and out.
have a po' boy, a shrimp po' boy, a muffalata, and there's these little like dirty, nasty corner grocery stores in the French Quarter that has the best sandwiches and po' boys and muffalatas you ever want to eat. There's several of them. Any one of those would give you a good muffalata. Maybe Camellia Grill for the dining experience. Some of the fancier restaurants.
No, just something you're like, dude, I can't get off the plane. You're like, I'm gonna run there, bro. It's been too long. So you can get yourself a po' boy and a muffalata.
There was this little like hole in the wall store called Monica's that we used to get our plate lunches from at work. And it was so good. It's like a 7-Eleven, like an old trashy cut like general store, country store. And they have like people in the back cooking plate lunches. They're like $6 or $7, or they were at the time. Oh my God. I would send you to a place like that. I would send you to some hole in the wall to get a plate lunch or a po' boy or a muffalata, something like that.
That's awesome, dude. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I can't wait for this experience. It sounds fun.
Yeah, me either. I didn't even know we were doing it until last night. And we're watching Treme, which is set in New Orleans, so it's kind of setting the scene. We all show up in person. We'll have all this New Orleans lore built up.
Did you happen to get flooded out during Katrina, where like your neighborhood was like totally destroyed? You had to rebuild, or what? What was your situation?
No, I was in Vegas watching it on TV. I have friends that were in that situation, but my mom lives on the other side of the state, and 2 weeks after Katrina, they had another big hurricane hit where she lived, and her house flooded. She got like 4 feet of water. She had to completely rebuild, and that's because she lives near a lake, and so the lake surges, and all the lake water comes up into the homes, and that's how the floods happen. And that's happened to her 2 or 3 times. She's had to completely recarpet, re-wallpaper, repaint, replace all the furniture. And I'll tell you, for those of you that are considering a couch or a piece of furniture, she had a microfiber couch, a big one of those, that material it's made of. That survived every hurricane it was in. I think she still has that couch. So that's the one piece of furniture that has survived 3 or 4 hurricane floods. And this is like muddy water. The walls of your house are like brown from the whatever mark to the floor. It's filth. She had to get rid of all her furniture except for that one couch. So those microfiber couches survive hurricanes.
Doesn't that bring like black mold, and you have to actually replace your walls and like basically a new house? Or it depends on
That I
that
don't know.
house.
I know that she was able to keep in the same house and just keep doing the repairs each time. Um, I I don't know any. I don't know enough about the mold issue.
You know, I'm surprised they don't build the homes on stilts.
They do in some of the counties. They do,
Yeah, as I
like
said,
on the coast. They
yeah, they
do.
should build them on stilts. Yeah.
Part of I-10 is built on stilts.
Yeah, going over the basin.
So
Jaeger. Oh, the Jaeger bombs. I remember those.
So you don't have like a current show that you are scheduled to watch right now?
No, but if Bex is out there or anybody else and wants to do another Treme or other shows, I'm certainly up for that. It's a Friday night. We started watching The Mole too, the American version, and then we might do some Dutch moles. Yeah, the Spike Lee movie. I think I did watch part of that. Because I remember watching it on TV in Vegas, and it was going to hit the night before, so I went to bed worried, like not knowing what to expect, and I woke up and I ran to the computer and I looked at the thing, and it looked like the hurricane had hit, but it didn't do a lot of. It was going to be okay. It was like a standard hurricane. There was some wind damage. They got some rain, but otherwise the storm looked like it had passed. And so I was ready to go about my day. I felt relief. I was like, oh, that was a close one. And we had the TV on because we were watching the footage. And I remember at some point that day, that levee started to break, and you would watch the water leak in. And New Orleans is kind of like a bowl. And the whole city just started to fill slowly. It was like slow motion. You were realizing that the danger was not over. It had just begun. And it was watching a slow nightmare as this city would fill up with water, and there was nothing you could do but sit there on the TV and watch your city drown. And people were ending up on the roofs and the helicopters and that's when it became a nightmare. Like all this false hope that I thought I had earlier in that day, that the storm had passed, was shattered when this levee broke. And that's where the nightmare began. And I watched in horror. Like New Orleans is so important to me personally. Being from Louisiana and living there, New Orleans becomes so much a part of your soul, your identity, your spirit. It was like watching it was not just a city. It was like watching a person, something human, pass away in front of your eyes, and you were helpless, and it was all in slow motion. That was one of the worst days of my life. I remember that day.
Well, thank you for sharing. That was a crazy way to describe it, bro. You're not joking. In slow motion. Like, oh, that took hours to watch. I bet.
And you knew what was going to happen, and you knew
just
that,
like,
like, and one thing that comes out in this Treme show, and I do kind of remember it back then, was that, like, to what extent was it an engineering failure? To what extent was it the Army Corps' responsibility, etc.? It did seem like maybe if they had done the job better or there was more accountability, it could have been avoided, but all that was kind of left undetermined too. So everybody had their own narrative. And another thing I was thinking about, because we're in a new millennium and we had 9/11 the first year into that millennium. Most of my life was lived before. I was 31. I was almost 31 when 9/11 happened. Ever since then, we had 9/11. We had Katrina. We had the Iraq War. We had Citizens United. We had the housing collapse. We had Trump. We had COVID. So, like, here in 2024, looking back just to 2000, just to the millennium, no wonder people are so black. I keep saying it's social media. Social media is just magnifying everything. But if I look at the actual events of the last 20-something years, there's a lot of shit that actually happened in real life, independent of social media, that could have people black-pilled and concerned about the future of the country. It doesn't even take social media. I just hadn't realized all of the disasters that we went through as a country, financial, physical, natural, that could have people, that alone could have people concerned about where are we as a country. Look at all the shit that happened in the last 20 years. And I would say we got through it as a country, which has me optimistic. But if people want to take all of those events and worry about the future, that's kind of hard to argue with too. We didn't have that much stuff the first half of my life that where I could make the case that look how awful life is. But people living now, looking back to the millennium, it's a different world. The millennium is not the world I grew up in the 80s and the 90s.
What do you think accelerated the process? Like you said, like so much was done in 20 years, where it feels like the same amount of stuff was only done from like the 60s to the 2000, where it took 40 years to accomplish all that same stuff. We did it in 24.
I don't know.
Is it social media?
It can't only be social media, because I don't think the Iraq War was social media. I don't think 9/11 was social media. I don't think the housing crisis was social media. Social media may have had a role in the Trump election and the aftermath of Trump, but it can't just be social media. So why?
Are people getting worse?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's
What
a
does the chat
reflection
say?
of leadership, which is a reflection of us, because we elect our representatives. So maybe it's just a cycle. Maybe these things come and like they're just clustered together now. Maybe but I think things like immigration, income inequality, maybe climate, other areas, geopolitics, I think that's like they're here to stay. I think it's not stuff that we're going to solve and then get back to some normal. I think we're kind of in a new normal with new problems that we have to figure out as a society. So whatever my vision of America was, or whatever future I grew up in, that's not the America we're in any longer, and I don't think we will be in my lifetime.
There's no going back, right? We can
Yeah,
never go
there's no
back.
going back. So when I evaluate America and when I listen to other people, I'm doing it from a very specific experience of America that I had and my generation had, that I think is just not as relevant or relatable to the modern world. And that is something I don't have awareness of when I'm talking about this stuff.
But when I hear you say that like a lot of things happened in that 24 years since 2000, that possibly it could be fixed in less time than that, because we have the same technology and the same acceleration, right? But technically, maybe we can fix it in 10 years. Maybe it is possible.
Yeah, I'm a tech optimist. I think humans historically usually overcome adversity, and they usually transcend their own limitations, whatever limitations they think they have for themselves. Some human's going to come along and show you that no, something else besides that is possible. So I think we're always going to somehow master our adversity, and I think we're going to expand and continue to transcend what we're capable of as humans.
It's hard to imagine imagine humans expanding where we're at consciously, other than like land. I need to expand with land. It's like, how do you expand yourself?
Like on an individual level?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what personal growth and all that is that I'm into.
And then, I don't know if you saw this, but the Freak's been challenged. Are you ready, sir? Are you ready? Talk about heaven.
This conversation has the potential to last for hours.
That's what your show needs right now,
does he want
right?
to do it? Lily, do y'all want to do this tonight, or do y'all want to? It's this or Treme. That's what I'm weighing. So.
Yeah, I have to leave soon. I would like to do a stream myself on some video games today. So, and it's already getting late fast. So, but it is Friday, so that means I don't have to go to bed.
That's true.
At
Maybe
9 o'clock.
I don't know. Bex, are you still out there? I'll see what the Freak thinks when he comes back.
For me, there is a heaven, and for me, there is a hell. So I'm trying to do my best to get in that line to heaven, but we'll see what happens when that day comes.
The freak can't handle me. Does this mean you're not coming up?
Oh, dang. You gonna buy him dinner first before you beat him up? What does not laws mean by celebrities dropping by the dozens per day? Do you mean like
They come in threes. We lose them in threes. Every now and then they throw a fourth one in, but usually it's in threes. We just lost Shannon Doherty. Well, James Earl Jones just died, but I think he's the start of a new
No.
three.
way? No way.
What?
Okay.
Wasn't James Earl Jones? Wasn't that Darth Vader?
Yeah. Yeah, he gone.
Shannon Doherty, I didn't know that.
The Force may the Force be with you, Darth Vader. Man, oh man, it's like what actors would hurt? Like losing Robin Williams was like, whoa. I grew up with that guy. I hate the rule of three, bro. I hate the rule of three because I'm looking for the third thing. When things happen and negative things are happening, I'm like, where's the third thing? Where's the third thing? Oh, I hate the rule of threes, bro.
It usually doesn't take long though with celebrity. It's like within a day or two.
It's
Maybe
more than just-
3 days max. You'll have your three.
Oh, so
It's
you don't
like
apply
boom,
that?
boom, boom.
You don't apply that to anything else? You don't apply the rule of three to anything else? Like to me, it's three. If I get a warning about something 3 times in a row, I know I need to do something to change. Like this,
Usually
like,
it
for
doesn't
example-
take me 3 times, I guess.
But like for example, it's like I need to move my car or something like that, right? And I know my car shouldn't be parked there. And then all of a sudden, someone's like, "Hey, dude, you can't be parked there." I'm like, "Oh, whatever, dude. I'm the boss." And the guy's like, "Hey, dude, you can't be parked there." I'm like, "Whatever, I'm the boss." It took 3 different individual. But I was like, "All right, guys, I get it, get it. Move my damn truck."
Maybe that's why I don't have the threes, because I would do it at the first time, maybe the second, but no more than the second. Because the very first time someone told me that, I would sit there and analyze. Oh, should I move my car? He told me to move my car. Why is he telling me? Do I have to move? I wouldn't just like throw it away and say I'll wait for another person to tell me, and then I'll evaluate.
All right,
So I think it's because I resolved them
so you're not
earlier. That
racist. I get it. You're not a racist victim. I get it, Jeff.
I'm not, and I want to make another point, by the way, on this racist business. I actually took the implicit bias test during COVID when all this racist madness started taking off, and you know what I got? No bias. Right in the middle, I got, because they said very rarely does someone take the test that it showed no bias. So if you have bias, don't freak out. It's perfectly normal. And I'm like, okay, I'm sure it's going to find some kind of bias. No bias. None. I was right in the middle range where it said we detect no bias. So even if I believe in all this shit, I have still been cleared of my racism.
So Jeff, congratulations. Your light points went up 3 credits today.
You hear that? We're doing. I don't know how proud he is going to be of that or not.
Yeah, you're almost at the freak level. Watch out,
Nice.
the freak. He's a lightning.
Satan's catching up to the
Satan's
freak.
catching up, bro.
It's like the Laugh Olympics.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think about Nirvana? Great question. Dude, you have a topic. You have what is that called? Oh, you have a muse. You have a muse in your chat, bro.
I kind of do, or a really good troll, because I just realized that she's pretty much controlling my life right now.
I look for
I'm
muses.
watching the TV shows that she wants me to watch. I'm planning a trip to a city that she wants me to go to.
I don't see heaven on
Women
earth
are
without Jesus
dangerous.
Christ.
Don't let them in your life. Uh-oh, and now she's telling me she loves me. We'll have to fix that. That's what you think.
This is the community you started. This is the monster that you put together. You put this loaf in the oven, and this
That's
is the
true.
cake you got, bro.
What do they call it? The trash cake? The garbage
Trash
cake?
cake. I don't know what you're gonna call your
It was
cake,
some
but-
cake somebody ate out of a dumpster or something.
Oh, bro, I saw that trend once where people were like making these sundaes, but using toilet bowls. Using toilets, bro.
Like whipped cream and cherries, but in toilet bowls.
yes,
Like brand new toilet, fresh off the factory toilet bowls.
We don't know what the story is.
That's
So people were
if
like,
there's any doubt, it's out. That's
Yeah, they're
no,
filling
there-
it full of
that-
like cereal.
There is
ice
no
cream,
room for
whipped
doubt
cream,
in that
chocolate syrup.
situation.
Yeah, there were toilet bowl Sundays, bro. It's
No.
just like,
No.
people were cooking out of their bathrooms.
No,
It was
we
a
took-
trend.
Total Earth.
This is too much time
Plumbers were
on
pissed.
the
dude.
hands. Not enough
Yeah.
to do.
Oh, talk about trends, dude. There was this. You ever heard of warbles or something like that? Those little gel things that, like, they're like little BBs, little gel BBs.
What are they called?
Like warbles?
Warbles?
Yeah, they're like water marbles. Warbles.
No, we didn't have this.
I could be wrong, but these little gel BBs that got real popular, and you put them in things, and they, I don't know.
Well, I'm googling. Let's see.
I don't know. Maybe I was
Warbles?
wrong about warbles.
There's
Water marbles.
there's something in cats called a wolf worm that can cause a condition called warbles.
No. But anyways, there was a trend. Anyways, there's a lady living in an apartment, right?
Maybe water
And she
marbles.
fills up her bathtub full of these things. And instead of scooping them out to throw them away, she started shoving them down the drain and clogged her whole apartment building full of these little tiny things that are little water marbles.
Are you talking about?
Let me look it up.
Hang on.
All right.
I'm gonna show you the picture. Is it this stuff?
Yes. Water
I've
marbles.
never
yes.
seen. What are water marbles?
So they're like marbles, right? They're like these, but they're made of gel. So you have the same effect. You know how people put marbles in planters, like pots and vases. To
Oh,
put
like
plants?
decorative? Yeah,
Yeah,
like in
but these are
glass
made of
vase.
water. Yeah, these are made of water, so they hydrate your plant. And so people got a fad of like, hey, let's fill up like little tiny pools, like these little like summer pools for kids, and play in these things. And they also went from summer pools to like someone's bathtub, and then down a drain and just.
This sounds like a rich white lady thing, which is probably why I've never heard of it.
most trends are rich
Okay.
white lady things, like the pink,
The hats.
not the pink hat, the
Oh.
Stanley Cup, dude.
What?
Okay, so a pink thermos was pictured on TikTok or something like that of surviving a fire. And then the trend went out that this is the ultimate thermos. And it was a pink Stanley Cup. If you didn't have a pink Stanley thermos, you were not cool. This is all trends for the women's sex trends.
I'm looking it up now. I've never
And
known
if
these
your-
things
if your-
even existed.
If
This
your,
is
if
not
your
my
husband
world.
got you a
Sure.
pink Yeti cup, it wasn't the same. Even though it was better, you had to have a pink Stanley
If
cup.
my husband gave me a pink anything, we might be in front of Judge Maybelline.
So,
It had to
you know,
be
pink
pink.
Cadillacs. No pink
No.
Cadillacs for Jeff. No.
My husband would know not to bring me home anything pink.
Yeah,
I
I got to
wouldn't,
look
I
at the
wouldn't
pink Stanley
be
cup.
with a husband
inspired.
that
Yeah.
shopped pink.
So,
He knows
it don't
better
matter.
than that.
All right, so is pain, suffering, evil? Oh wow! The new muse is on fire. And look at the freak is responding, but you're allowed to come up and have a conversation, you two. This would be great.
I think that evil causes pain and suffering.
So I thought about this too, DeFreak. So you know how there's God's will? Well, I would think of the opposite of God's will would be the devil's will.
The devil's will is to.
The opposite of God's.
Yeah, I mean,
To create pain and suffering, or the image of success through pain and suffering. So you think you're doing well, but you're obviously not doing well.
basically the devil's objective is to make sure you end up in the wrong destination. Not
Exactly.
the destination.
The devil's will, in the simple way I can put it. So it is God's will, and the opposite of God's will would be the devil's will. The yin and yang of that universe.
Yeah, and then we also have our own will.
I don't believe in that. If we have God's will, if I wake up every morning and give humble myself to Jesus, then I'm doing what Jesus wants me to do that day. What do you think about
Yeah,
that?
I think so, but we still have free will, and so you could be tempted off of that at any point in time during the day. So
Do you think so?
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
we're still in the flesh, and a lot of sin is innate in the flesh. So it's not always just because you wake up and say, hey, Jesus, I want to follow your will today, doesn't mean you're going to be on that path all day. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's not to say that you're going to fall completely into sin and into eternal darkness or anything like that. It's just, and then your day in, day out stuff that really doesn't probably even really like a consideration. But then you have big moments in your life and big decisions like, am I going to, I don't know, this or that, or something like, I don't know, join porn and be a porn girl or OnlyFans girl or not. Those are the kind of the bigger ones that weigh heavily more on your scale at judgment.
So shout out to Liliana. She has a question. Is it choice or is it will? That's a great question. Choice and will, are they synonyms? Are they the same thing? Are they actually different? In your opinion, to Freak?
I would say that a choice is your will.
Oh, okay.
They kind of go hand in hand,
Yeah, you kind of threw a two stones at one pigeon kind of thing.
But like from God's perspective,
she didn't like that answer, bro. No, you gotta try again. Nope. Answer rejected. Try again. She went, That's all your response was no good.
Liliana, do you and Freak want to have a debate one day?
Well, she's a very good muse. She only does it for money.
Oh.
I have to pay $5. I'm willing to pay $5. Does it go to Jeff?
We call
or
those
does it go-
something else when I go.
Well, it's like,
Whoa, Jeff a pimp now? I gotta pay to have women out here.
Oh, she's trying to make me, bless her heart, she's trying to make me money.
That's what I'm saying, Jeff. Yeah.
That's more touching than actually getting money, I think. I really am. Wow, I don't know I don't know what emotions to have over this. I'm not used to it.
If I pay the money, will you come up? Are you ready to Freak if I pay the money?
yeah.
How much is it? What's the price?
For Liliana?
Yeah, she said pay, and then we'll have another guest.
I don't know. She'll have to. She's all my hoes are self-determining.
The answer to the question is something that I think the Quran kind of addresses there. It says, he who destined and then guided. That allows for free will. So, yeah, he may have predestined you for a certain destination, but
$10. Make me hotter.
She's going to answer one question. She said, you get one question.
There you
Oh,
go.
is you counting this as the payment? I'll count it.
I count as a payment.
Yeah, I'll
Jeff
count
with my
this.
pimples.
Not only is this a payment, but he just made 10 new outliers too, in addition.
Oh, you know what that is also? 10 more notifications for your show, bro.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that. Oh, my God. Okay. Well, thank you for sure. Wow. All right. This is...
Hey, Jeff, I'm expecting product. Okay.
Well... Okay, now as a good pimp, I have to get her up here. Liliana?
In
How do I-
Minecraft.
Oh, now
Minecraft.
see how she's doing?
Did I get her? No.
She's moving the goalpost. She's adding new terms. Now that the price was paid, she wants to slip in new terms.
She's a good worker, Jeff.
No, the wrench will be separate. But I wouldn't get a wrench today because I think I don't know how much longer I'm. Oh wow, okay. Freak, wow, thank you.
He really wants that now. We want product. We want product. Jeff, deliver.
Oh my God, Okay, one quick question. She said. Now she's putting terms.
Oh, the Freak.
She's
This is your
rolling out the
chance.
fine print.
What's the question, bro? I only spent the money. I didn't think about this.
So does he gives the question now and you just come up and answer, or does he ask you to your face?
All right, the Freak. Yeah, it's your opportunity. You have one question, brother.
that's it. I thought we were going to have a discussion. Like,
Well, if
She
it's a
said
good question,
One quick question.
if it's the right question, you'd be surprised what it opens the.
Oh, the
Pandora's
link is
box.
pinned. Is it? It should
Say
be.
the question. No question. We need a guess before question.
So she says, say the hey, El Pero.
I'm
So
moving this post.
so you tell her the question first, and then she'll come up and answer.
We're gonna get robbed. We just got.
She
robbed
knows
by
how to work.
Jeff.
She's good. She really knows how to work
It's like
this.
OnlyFans trivia.
I got robbed.
You're right.
All right, it's up to you, Divreek. Take your time.
Well,
brother. No rush.
I'm just wondering, is she a Christian reverend or like an Uncle Fatty type reverend?
Is that
That
your
was the
question?
question, bro. That
Well, I
was
mean,
the
it's one of them.
$15
Or
question.
do you want to know if he said she say? Well, I'll let you. I don't want to influence your question.
She's laughing at us.
Or do you want to know what kind of reverend she is? Maybe she could give you specifics, and then you can determine from there if she's the Uncle Fatty type. Okay, she said she'll answer.
All right, cool.
All right. This is
I had my fun. Thank you guys. Appreciate it, Jeff.
You're heading out.
The gestures and peasants have made me laugh.
nope. That's the question. Okay.
Oh my gosh, dude! You're freak.
Damn.
We gotta work on your questioning skills, bro. I think she answered that in the chat earlier. She says, "I bring up a highlight." Here it was.
I missed the answer.
So.
Yeah, this is where I need a soundboard or something to build up the suspense. I could play Price is Right music when she comes on.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't
So
think
did
she's coming
you
up.
upgrade your membership? It seems like you don't have.
It's
any
not an
gift card.
upgrade; it's an upcharge, but it's the same features. They throw in a few features which are useless. Like I'm never even going to use them, but I think I'm going to test some other options before I decide. If I find one that's comparable, I could switch. Because really, I only need guest, a basic screen. I don't use all of the fancy stuff.
Does she know who Uncle Fatty is?
I think that's a separate question.
Yes.
Hey,
Here's the
Welcome.
Oraculus.
So
Welcome.
this is really the question. I'm going to state it. Am I a Christian reverend or Uncle Fatty reverend? The answer is, remember, short and sweet. Okay, hold on. Jeff, did you have a good day today?
I did. I'm
Yeah.
having a great one right now.
Yeah. I think we need more dollar signs in the chat. What do you think, Jeff?
I'll take them if I could figure out a way to make them happen. And this is
Okay.
you're
But
being a big help.
since this was the freak's well thought out question. But thank you guys for all the membership. Please press that like button for Jeff. Right, Jeff? Work it, twerk it, Jeff. Go. The freak. Okay, I'm answering the question in all seriousness. Gentlemen, are you ready for the answer?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I can only hold my breath for so much longer.
Okay.
I think there's a lot that's entailed with the answer.
Okay, ready.
We're getting the
So
money's worth.
Okay. I can be a Christian reverend if you want me to, but I'm not a big whatever freak reverend you think I am.
There you go.
Okay, so when
Was
you
that
say
it? It sounds like Schrodinger's Christian.
No. It was one question. So if you're asking me a clarification follow-up question, and the freak, you are out of questions for the night. So Gen X Jeff, Philip, what do you want to talk about?
well, there's something that you posted that I was gonna just ask. Not even ask. I'll just say that you posted that you could marry gay and lesbian couples or something like that. Does that mean that you could actually marry them and
That's
an
a question. That's a
service,
question.
or does that mean that you would be like willing to join a couple who is gay or lesbian?
like you're asking a question, so I'm gonna interpret it this way because you asked a question, so you have to be very thoughtful in how you ask your questions, the freak. Um, if you're asking if I would marry a woman myself, I would. Is that what you're asking? So you didn't
Yeah, I
think
guess
about
so.
it, yeah. So I'm just gonna answer it that way. And the freak, you're out of questions. And
That was awesome. Thank
And
you.
out of time and out of style.
yeah,
Yes, yes,
but
yes.
but I would love to come back and talk about Nirvana one day and answer the question if you think that uh, there's a possibility to have heaven on earth.
Are there any free questions?
No, Jeff.
I'm asking for
No, no,
a
no,
cheap
no, no,
friend.
no,
Asking for
no,
a cheap
no,
friend. Yeah.
no, 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 Jeff. This is your panel. That was the rules. Remember, I
Does
only come up
doesn't
to
She's
Philip
let
get a
me.
helping me
question?
with my capitalism.
Doesn't
Yes.
Jeff,
Philip get a
that's
question for the?
you control your panel, and the
Your
trolls
whiteness
have
is
come up
showing,
here,
Jeff.
and the fake trolls. And Jeff knows that I only get paid to come up here and fake troll. So I'm the only fake troll he lets up here because I get paid I make money for him.
So wait, are you a goblin or a troll?
I'll let Jeff answer that question
I don't think
because
of her
I'm
as
not
either.
answering
I'm surprised
questions.
to find out she's even a troll. Although
Oh,
I assume everybody, like there's a troll in everybody. So
so I have to
nobody's.
ask Jeff the question. Ah, I get it now. The freak, we gotta ask Jeff the question. The pimp, we gotta ask the pimp the question.
Yep, that's how
Right.
it works around
It's
here.
somehow.
Usually I'm the one getting
Okay.
pimped. How did I get roped into this role?
Yeah, you don't have a
Because
choice.
because we're making money, Jeff. Shh, come on, come on.
Did you ask your
We're
question, Philip?
twerking it and we're working it. Just go with it, okay? We're making our 2025
Oh yeah,
money.
and we can do a twerking tour of New Orleans too,
Yeah.
because that's where twerking took off.
Yes. Spike, come up. I see Spike in the chat.
Hey,
Yes.
Plasma.
Is
Spike
Shout
she
out.
from
is Spike.
Louisiana?
Spike can ask me free questions in case you guys didn't know. So,
For free?
Ask.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's right
Spike,
up.
you can
Oh.
come up and ask 3 free questions. I think that would
Yeah,
clear up a lot.
Do you
yeah.
know where Lillian is from, Jeff?
He
Um,
does. Kind of,
yes,
yeah.
I do. I know where she grew up.
I'm
I don't know
making
where she lives currently. I think I do.
a
Yeah.
extra account right now called Spike. I'm making a Spike count right now. Haha.
See, Jeff, I generate trolls and more more action in here.
I don't
Garden
know, but I
gnomes. I don't
remember
know.
last night at the end of your show last night, Lilliana and her friends were like making some jokes that were just hilarious.
On this show?
Last night,
Oh, I don't even
How
remember what
what?
happened last night. Who was on?
It was a voting hullabaloo, Jeff. Remember?
No. I'll pull it up. Once I end the streams, I forget about them.
Yeah.
You really shut it down that much? It takes me a while to cool off after doing like a
I,
video game
it
stream.
wasn't like this in the beginning. I've been doing it so long. I think it's just what I grew into. But let me see who was on. That'll jog my memory.
Phillips in the Axl Rose portion.
Oh
of
yeah,
the
it was
panel,
Mr. P. And
Yeah, you were
reality.
getting wild yesterday, Jeff, about the voting, the mail-in
that was
voting.
wild.
The mail-in voting, yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah.
What was wild about it, Jeff? What were
I
people
don't.
saying
I
about
didn't think
me?
it was wild. It wasn't wild to me at all.
Well, no, it was wild. Like,
Well,
uh,
the topic was wild. It was the thing
yeah,
about the 2020
the
election being
reaction.
fraudulent or stolen, and I was saying,
Yes.
oh, and some of it was the mail-in voting here in Washington
Yes.
State, which I looked up today. I meant to go over it. They have a whole website that shows the voting process and how secure it is, and it does work off the signatures, just like when you write a check. They compare your signature to whatever they have on file at the bank. The state has your signature on file as a voter, and so they have signature checkers that check your signature against the one on file. And if there's an issue, they contact you.
Yes. But also, how many times did they validate and certify those ballots?
And in what way?
Well, no, because remember, they kept wanting to take it to the court, so they kept doing recounts in certain states because
Oh,
they were
no,
like,
well, in
yeah, yeah,
Washington, they verify all of them
yeah,
individually, and then they do like audits. They have a process where they'll take samples and selections and recount those to double check and make sure. So they have like extra layers of counting that they do in sampling.
yeah. No, it was in Detroit. They threw a fit. Giuliani came with that crazy blonde woman who
Sydney,
said that,
Sydney lady, she
yeah,
was crazy.
that was in Michigan. Yeah, the crazy blonde. And she tried running at the next county over. Fucked up stories about her. But yeah, she kept on trying to contest the ballots using that she worked for the ballot company and she knew it was rigged or something. And I'm like, that's fucked up. And the ballot
And they
company's like,
laughed her out of court. Like
yeah,
she kept going to all the different judges. That they all kept laughing her out.
yeah. So that's the kind of shit we face in Michigan because the that
And your
party
governor
could
getting
not handle.
kidnapped.
Yes, yes, yep.
Is Michigan considered a swing this election? Is it the Rust Belt?
No, but we have a lot of white women voters.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. And yeah, and you guys, it's like almost country where I am, if that says anything. So yeah. So they do try to come out here and campaign, but we have stayed, the state has stayed predominantly blue because we are blue collar. We have the unions. We make all the cars in the US. Wink, wink. The big three motor is here. Um, so yeah, we have a heavy working class, and that's what the people around here want. Not, pseudo elitists that are unfortunately going to influence the white women, you guys. I'm serious.
I know. That's the ones that broke for against Trump last time. Too.
Yes.
That's the demographic and the college-educated white men.
Well,
Yes.
speaking of that, do you think the Taylor Swift announcement is gonna affect the election?
What did she say?
She's made her choice. She's voting for Harris.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I don't know
ooh,
why she'd vote for Trump.
So
yeah.
But you know what? I have a lot of family that are Swifties, and they're all Republican, and they love her. So I'm going to talk to them
Mm,
and see if what they think of her
oh.
vote, if it's going to affect them or anything.
oh
I
yeah,
grew up
Well,
with,
Swifties for Trump, like now that's out or
Swift. I'm
something.
a Swiftie for Trump. I'm a Swiftie.
eh, I grew up with a very conservative right-wing Republican mother. So yeah, when people ask me about Trump, first, I'm going to answer this question because I know it was asked previously. So, with all due respect, I'm going to do someone on the panel a favor right now. And they're not throwing extra money, Jeff. Should I do it? Should I answer a question they had for me the other day?
Sure, I'm too curious.
Okay. So, it was automatically insinuated and stated that I, you know, hated Trump. Okay. So this is the thing I want to say respectfully. Respectfully. Um, we have one of the greatest privileges to be able to vote here. And I'm going to be cheesy for a moment, Jeff. I'm a naturalized American citizen. I both love and hate this country at the same time. Every country on earth is imperfect. We are a very young country, a very progressive country for some people, and that's okay. That's what we were. We were revolutionary in founding this place, and unfortunately, getting in the way of people who should have had this land. I'll just put it that way. But for me, I have voted every single election since I turned 18. 18 was a voting year. I put in the chat the other night, Jeff. I voted for Dolan Kemp. My mom was a Republican. I was raised in California most of my life, which is a Democratic state. And when people ask me who I vote or how I vote, like that is my right and privilege. And I don't have to share that with anyone. That is between me and my government. And it's a great topic of conversation. I think, for me, how I view it, and just a little background about me, and I'll shut up because I'm talking too much, but a little background about me is I would not have these privileges and rights I do here if I stay in the country I was born in, and I take it very seriously. And I love that I, as a woman, am able to have a voice and I could share it. But for me, I fled a country that became a theocratic government that subjugated women. And I want a sense of privacy because that's like, I respect privacy here. And I don't feel that I need to validate to anyone why I vote or believe what I do. And for me, I think that's how people use who you vote for, sometimes to weaponize what you believe against what they believe. And I think that's kind of like shitty human behavior, So that's to answer someone's question from the chat the other night, respectfully.
If you don't pay up, Jeff's breaking some ankles.
I probably won't even remember, but
Yeah, right.
I've always been. I'm
sorry.
just not a
I
money
kept
person or even a
blabbering.
numbers person.
Yeah, I'll mute now, but okay. The freak,
Jeff.
did that answer your
But
question?
well, part of it was the accusation was that you hated Trump, and like who
I
you
didn't
voted
say
for
that.
is
Yeah, but I didn't outright say that I hate Trump. I don't prefer the guy, but we don't need to talk about why I don't, because most of the time people want to try to convert me to believe why I should feel the way they do. I don't care about that shit.
What
Yeah,
I
that's,
asked,
yeah.
what I asked was why
Why
she
I
thought
wouldn't vote for
Trump's
Trump.
leadership was not her taste or her style, and
I
that's the question that I
responded,
didn't.
yeah, and I responded that I wanted a leader who cared about the middle class and blue collar people. That's what I responded.
Mhm. Right.
And then
So
you
the
said,
guy,
and then you responded, well, why doesn't that make Trump a good leader or something?
right,
And
the
that,
guy who
like,
actually creates jobs for middle class people, and is that
I live
actually
in a blue collar
obligation of
state.
payroll? Doesn't care about the middle class. That doesn't make
I
any
live in a
sense.
blue collar state where we
Okay.
build cars for America. We are the last like manufacturing thing. Yes, parts come from Europe elsewhere. I can tell you that, right? But we build cars in America. When is the last thing you bought that was fucking American made, to freak? Do you know where every single product in your house is from?
No,
Do
I
you
don't
care
know
about
exactly.
America that much? Do you care about blue collar jobs that much? Really? Do you
I
care
think I
that
do.
people can't afford to live in an apartment and take care of their kids by working at McDonald's? And then you're pissed that you have to pay $20 for a fucking hamburger?
Hey, Jeff.
damn. That's
No,
almost
I
This
definitely
is
think I am.
this is the best $10 I've spent in a while, bro.
well,
You're
good. I'm glad I could give
welcome.
you product, good product.
Thank
So
you.
here's the thing. Sorry, Jeff. I said I would keep it short and sweet, so I don't want to. I don't want to
That never happens
devolve.
on
But
panels.
but but Jeff, I have an idea. Sorry, can I insert idea? If
I
anyone
understand.
wants to,
Yeah, I
if
understand.
anyone wants to come
I'm
up and
listening.
troll me, $10, and they could troll me for 5 minutes. Jeff, what do you think?
Ooh, that's tempting.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn it down.
The only
Yeah,
thing is,
so there you go. That's the only reason I'll stay up here. I'll give someone 5 minutes. I'll be silent. I'll pipe in. The freak got all the answers that he paid for. So the freak's out of the game.
what?
Jeff,
Oh, I was gonna say the first donation, the freak.
I mean, I'll just say that
he's
I
not
don't
going to be
see
able to
how.
troll me. The
All right,
freak,
all right.
that's what I'm saying. No,
I get a
no one's
response
going to be
here.
able to troll me. No one's
I get a
gonna be able to
response here.
troll
I don't
me.
see how anyone like a government worker like Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, who's never created a job ever in their life, as far as entrepreneurship or business, private business, would actually be better leadership for loving the middle class the way she describes that it should be loved.
Okay, Jeff, could I ask a question back?
Mhm.
You're in control, Jeff. May I ask a question back?
Mhm.
The freak, who came from more of a middle class working background, Trump or Harris?
Harris, that just means that she could be bought easier.
But then why does Trump ask for a shitload of
I'm
money
pretty
for
sure
fucking
Trump
gold
can be
tennis
bought
shoes?
pretty easily.
What does he ask for? A lot of money for what? For a pair of tennis shoes?
Hold on.
I didn't hear
cut out.
that.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm outside. Okay. So why does Trump go around asking for money and selling gold tennis shoes?
I mean, business
To
is
help the
selling
middle
stuff,
class, the working
and
class.
that's what politicians do. Is they raise money, like every
No,
politician.
but you were just saying, I'm sorry, I'm going to summate this. And essentially you're saying that Camilla is hoeing herself out for money because that's what poor people do. But it's okay that Trump does it and sells tennis shoes. And you know how many fucking Trump texts I get from him begging money from me? I could show you my texts. Do you know how many I get from Harris? I'm not fucking shitting you. I'm
That
not
just tells me you
registered
voted.
anything.
That just tells me you've actually donated to the Republican Party. That's all that tells me.
No, I've never donated to Trump, ever. You know what I've done? I've gone and trolled his fucking websites. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, she really is a troll.
All
Oh,
right,
you guys want to know who else I troll while we're talking about it? I'm fucking serious.
Wait, are you a grifter?
No, I don't make money.
We made Jeff.
No, she's helping me make money.
That's what I mean.
That's
Are
the
you-
opposite
are
of
you
a
a tr- are you-
grifter.
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay, that's
I-
opposite of grifter. Okay, grifters make
Yeah,
money for
I don't
themselves.
I'm the
money.
grifter. She's
Okay,
helping me
I
grift.
don't make money.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Dude,
My
get it
bad. I was
straight.
just asking.
Get it straight. I remember he's my pimp, right?
Straighten me up. Straighten me up.
Right, Jeff?
The world's oldest profession.
Yeah. It
You're
was
the
okay in the Bible. It was okay in the Bible, wasn't it? Okay. Wait, I was going to say something. Oh, so I'm not registered any type of party affiliate in the state I'm registered to vote in. The only place, I mentioned this in the chat, that I've ever been registered affiliated party was in the state of California as a Republican, so take that. And that was, I have not lived in California in 25 years. And by the way, Jeff, can I add, do you know how many mail-in ballots I've gotten mailed to my address in California because it was my childhood house, right? It was my mom's house. Do you know how many I get mailed there, Jeff?
Mm-mm.
None.
0.
Because you cannot get ballots mailed to other addresses in fucking other states. If you
Well,
have
yeah,
one
here
state,
you have
right?
one
Yeah.
address on file per voter that they send
Yeah.
it to you.
But that's what someone else was trying to say the other night is, oh no, someone could vote 3 times if they have 3 different houses in 3 different states. No, it doesn't work that way. And I know I was a registered voter in California, so they're gonna target me as that Republican.
Because don't you, when you register to vote, don't you have to be a resident of that state, like show that you're a resident?
Yes, you have to show proof that you live there. Yes.
And if you're rich and you have multiple residents,
so-
you have to pick one that's your primary.
Right, it would be
residence.
hard to
Yes.
register in 3 states, I would think.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Someone was arguing the other day on your panel that it is possible to do that.
Yeah, but
That's,
I don't.
that's ludicrous.
Well, to play devil's advocate, just thinking, like if I had a driver's license in California, right? And I didn't tell Nevada. I went to Nevada and got a driver's license. If they don't communicate to each other, are both my licenses valid at the same time?
So you have to take a test to get a driver's license, a new license in the state.
Right, but I
Right.
can own property
If
in both
you-
states.
No.
When
but if
when
you
I
have
when
a
I move to a
license
new
of
state, I
another
have to
state,
turn in my license
Yeah.
to get the new
Yeah.
state's license. They take your
And
old
not-
state license.
Only
Yes,
if you
and
have
then
it
you don't have
available to
to-
take.
No, but if you don't have it, then you have to take a test. You have to get a new license for that
okay.
state. That's
Yeah.
what I'm
If you
saying.
live in
Yeah.
Arizona half the year and Alaska half the year, you still have to pick one of those as your primary residence, and that's the one that you're
Yeah.
supposed to be bound to.
And
Right.
some is for tax purpose too, like
Yeah.
which state gets your tax money.
Correct.
Yeah. You
God,
know
it's-
what rich people do? Fucking rich people.
I don't know what they do. What do they
They
do?
hide their assets that way. It's so fucked up, you guys. Yeah. Think
Why?
about it.
Why is it messed up? Why is it messed up that rich people know how to use this system?
Because we're talking about the middleman, right? The middle class worker who's getting taxed the most, working really fucking hard, laboring their fucking fingers off, right? Do you want to
Yeah,
talk about
but-
choice and will? Do you want to talk about choice and will again?
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
that's-
Their
that's-
choice, was it their choice to get that job, or was it will to them because that's what God planned in life?
That's my question. It's like, did that person choose to eat,
I'm not
chicken
answering
and
your
rice?
questions, am I?
No, I'm
Jeff?
asking Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff.
What's
I-
going on?
Jeff,
It's easier
we
for me to
need
just
money.
do a normal conversation than to keep up with who has permission to ask questions.
That was fun. That was fun.
Do you think the
Alright.
current administration is more in favor of middle class or not, or was Trump's?
What current administration? Are you
You know,
talking
Joe
local,
Biden.
federal? Are you talking? So you want my honest truth? I don't give a shit about Biden. I think Biden's fucked up. There you go. Do you like that answer?
That's
You
I
really
voted.
want to know? You really
you
want
vote
to
for
know
Biden?
how? You really want to know how much I hated Trump? I didn't answer that. You want to know how I feel about Biden? I don't like the dude. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for.
Yeah, I didn't mean to ask that.
I respectfully approach that discussion, and I like to, you know what? We fucking live on the internet. Shit's fucked up. But I like to guard my privacy a little bit. I don't need
Yeah.
haters hating me because I voted for someone that they don't like. That's your problem, not my problem.
Yeah, it's
You know?
a smart choice. Yeah, good choice.
I mean, I wouldn't
Well-
hate you for who you voted for, but I understand where you're coming from. But don't you think that your politics and the policies and the love of the middle class are all kind of in conflict right now?
You're asking an immigrant about really, really heavy shit that's deep, and I don't think you're prepared to understand the gravity of that question.
That's awesome.
Why-
You're not
why
ready
wouldn't
for
I
the
be?
truth.
Are you did you at least do episode 3 of Treme?
I saw it when it first came out, 15 years ago. So I'm in the middle of 2. I was in the middle of 2 until I got wrapped up in this shit, Jeff.
Okay.
Until
Well,
I got wrapped
um,
up in this money drama up here. You see, Tupac Français.
We've watched 3. We've watched 3. So if you want to like catch up to 3, we won't watch any more tonight and let you catch up to 3, and then I guess tomorrow we could pick up with 4.
Okay, are you ready to wrap? I'm a buzzkill, I know.
No,
Episode.
I was rapping earlier anyway because they want me to go watch something.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
let's do it. I mean, we didn't get the money in the 5 minutes anyway, so that was my time, Jeff.
That's
So,
true.
yeah.
I think it was a good idea, but I'm not. I think the problem is on my end. How for me learning how to work it into a conversation.
Yeah, but it's also late. Maybe we should do it earlier next time when we could get more bite.
Yeah, I'd be up for that. I'm always up for playing around.
Okay. Catch you fuckers next time. TCFN.
Okay.
Ciao.
Take care, Liliana.
Yeah, great times.
Thank you. All right,
Thank
DeFreak, did you get your answers? Or enough questions for next time? Is she saved? Is she a true Christian?
I don't think she's Christian, but
Oh,
I mean, she didn't say
you
she
think
was
she's
Christian.
the Uncle Fatty type?
I think so. I mean, I don't even remember what she answered. It was
Oh,
it's what she said is typically what I would expect
What a
from a
waste.
woman answering a question. So,
ooh. Well, I want to explore what that means, but I also want to wrap up. Can you give me like a 30-second version of what that meant?
yeah, that
That might
means
be-
that you never get a direct answer.
You think that's a
never
woman thing?
Yes or no. I think it's yeah.
I have a
think
hard
the-
time getting direct answers from guys on here too.
Really? Well,
Uh-huh.
maybe that's just my
Sometimes.
experience or my bias or my truth or whatever they, but yeah, like,
Oh,
you don't
Mike,
get
I thought y'all
an
knew each
answer,
other.
especially if it's like a woman that's adversarial towards you. Like, you're never going to get it. You could ask them, what's
Oh
the,
yeah.
what web page were you on today, at work or something for research, and they'll answer it in a way that doesn't have anything to do with the question.
That's the passive aggression.
That's the
They
evasion
do
and
that
the
up here a lot, too.
redirection. So that I mean, I didn't get any directly. I think I know I'm closer to what she understands, believes. I understand closer to what she believes, but I don't know for sure. And that's just exactly the way they love it.
Do you think she has aggression toward you? Like there was some
No, not at all.
hidden hostility about something in the past?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, do you have anything else you want to close with?
I mean, something like that might be caused because women probably just don't trust men at this point
Or you? She might not trust
for
you.
whatever reason. But I don't know what the answer is. But generally, guys, we try to be more direct in our communication, generally. But
Well, Liliana, try harder next time to communicate more like a guy. Don't come up here with this womanly communication.
I'm just saying, like, when someone says that Donald Trump's leadership is not my cup of tea, and then I ask why, and then they're like, just because, how much, how serious, can you take that person's, political view? And then when they say, well, we need someone who loves the middle class more, but then no government worker has ever created a job for a middle class person in the first place. How does that make any sense? To think that Trump doesn't love the middle class, it just doesn't.
Well, that's not who he gave the tax cuts to. She's a linguist too. I don't know if you know that.
No, I don't know that, but
Well, she is.
Donald Trump gave tax cuts to everybody.
I didn't get one from
corporate
it.
tax. Actually, you did. You probably just didn't, notice it. But
I might not have been
got
working.
about like everyone was about plus $9,000 a year with Donald Trump's tax credit. And what the main thing that he did was the corporate tax cut, which was like from 39% or 37% down to 21%. And if that didn't happen, you wouldn't have had any corporations on Wall Street actually starting to reinvest in the capital expenditure portion of their R&D or their whatever that they do to invest capital capex.
Well, that's good for them, but that's still not a tax cut for me.
Well, but see, when corporations invest, that is actually money that is being paid out into like salaries or research or something.
They didn't give any of it to me.
It's an investment in the future of the company. And they were
Yeah,
unwilling to
I'd
do
rather
that.
just the tax cut than this other thing. I didn't get anything from it.
Well, right, but if you're a corporation, when you
That's a
when
very
you don't have
special
that,
pleading.
when you don't have that incentive to invest, all you do is you buy back your stock. You just
I
kinda
know, but
sit
if you're
back.
not any of that, I'm not a corporation or any of that, then Trump really didn't do anything for me, middle class wise, working class wise.
except your $9,000 per year tax cut.
I didn't get a tax cut.
Sure, you did. Everyone did. You know, it's just the way that they frame it in the narrative that, you know, he only
I'm gonna have to
gave
fact check
taxes
that.
to the rich, which is not true. Yeah, he gave the corporations a big tax cut, but everyone else also got a tax cut too.
Well, Jeff, thanks for entertaining my questions, brother. I appreciate that. DeFreak, you take care, brother. This
You
is a
too,
great
man.
show, my friend. Congratulations. Peace.
Thank you, Philip. Good hanging out.
Philip's a good paneler.
He really is. I like Philip. All right, thank you two for hanging out, and
Later on.
we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Liliana, Mr. P. Wait, what do you? I want special attention? No, he was just saying that Trump gave me a tax, and I'm like, no, he didn't. If he gave it to me, I said I didn't see it. So I'm not saying I want any attention, but he was saying that I should, like, I'm already supposed to have it from Trump, and I was just asking where it was because I'm not aware that I have it. But it wasn't me asking for attention. Yeah, from COVID, the employment thing from COVID. Well, let's do it. Let's do it next time because I'm trying to get into Discord and save some of our Friday night. But yeah, he's welcome up anytime. All right, I'm gonna go. Have a good night, everybody, and I'll be here tomorrow. All right, take care. Oh. Take care, Jax. Good seeing you. All right, take care.